This Week in Santa Clarita also took a comprehensive look at what redevelopment has meant in Old Town Newhall.
So, Armene, the term redevelopment gets thrown around a lot. You're an expert on this, so tell us exactly what redevelopment is.
Certainly, Evan. Actually, there is a formal definition of redevelopment, which is taking an area that has blighting conditions, both physical and economic, and providing improvements. But I'd like to think of redevelopment as really taking a community that could use a lot of love and attention, putting in all the appropriate investments, and seeing that area thrive, as is the case with Old Town Newhall. For example, our improvements here started by looking for opportunities where we can invest in capital improvement projects, property acquisitions, from building a new park, Creekview Park, to looking for opportunities to maximize underutilized parcels, as is the example with the Veterans Historical Plaza. And what you see today is the result of some of those improvements. For example, I'll start with the streetscape. We have completed 2 phases of streetscape improvements in downtown. What you'll notice, earlier I talked about the Western history and culture of the area, so our streetscape is actually very interpretive. You'll notice the hitching posts, you'll notice the very natural, rugged, organic style of streetscape. You'll notice the plants that are drought tolerant. The street is lined with beautiful trees, benches, newspaper racks. It definitely has provided quite an improvement.
Right now we're across the street from William S. Hart Park. Can you talk about what's going on this side of town?
Definitely. To create a downtown corridor, it's really important to have gateways. On the northern end of Main Street, we will soon have our public library that will be open. And on the southern end, which is where we're standing now, we are in the process of designing a roundabout. And in working in conjunction with the County of Los Angeles, who actually owns and operates the park, they are also looking at providing exterior improvements to the park. So ultimately, what we will end up with long-term at this corner will be an improved circulation pattern. Cars will be able to come and right off the bat, they'll know they're entering Old Town Newhall. This will be a gateway. Looking over to the park, there will be improvements. The county is planning on actually removing and replacing the chain link fence that currently stands with the wrought iron fence, and I think that's going to provide quite a bit of an improvement. So if you were to stand here and look down on Main Street on the other end, then you'll see the public library.
The city also completed the Metrolink parking expansion and the Newhall Community Center's passive recreation area.
Right now we're at the Newhall Metrolink station, where earlier today the City of Santa Clarita celebrated a ribbon cutting for the expansion of the parking for commuters here, as well as a passive recreation area for residents. Mayor Lori Ender and Councilmember Marsha McLean were on hand as the City of Santa Clarita dedicated new expansion projects at the Community Center and Newhall Metrolink Station. The city received $950,000 in American Recovery and Reinvestment Act grant funds to add additional parking spaces to the Newhall Metrolink Station.
This is a wonderful event, and there's kind of 2 different things happening at one time that really benefit not just the Newhall community where we are, but the entire community. We opened up over 90 new parking spaces in the Metrolink parking lot. And if you've ever tried to come in the morning and find a parking space, you're taking the train into work or to go do something, there are not enough parking spaces. So we're very excited, increasing it by about 40%. And it's going to benefit not just people wanting to use the Metrolink, but also people wanting to come and use the community center in Newhall. So that's part 1, and that was done with some federal funds that we had. Part 2, which was done through another set of funds, was creating this, we're calling it a passive play area behind the Newhall Community Center. But this place is always filled with kids, so it's not likely to be passive for very long, and there are actually already kids playing out here.
Not only did Old Town Newhall get some revitalization work this year, Lyons Avenue started its repavement project, and the Lyons I-5 on and off ramp was beautified.
So right now I'm at the corner of I-5 and Lyons Avenue, where earlier today a dedication ceremony was held. Mayor Frank Ferry cut the ribbon, signifying the end of the city's portion of this project, which is a partnership between the West Ranch Town Council, the City of Santa Clarita, and the County of Los Angeles. We caught up with Mayor Ferry, who talked about the program.
You know, the City of Santa Clarita, when you leave Los Angeles City, when you leave the San Fernando Valley, and you come over that Newhall Pass, you just get this feeling of entering into something special. When you come to those mountains and you see the open space we've preserved, you know that you're no longer in the greater Los Angeles area. And so for us to beautify our on-ramps and off-ramps, it sort of just adds value to that beauty that we have when we enter our valley. It increases property values. It just overall makes you feel special. I know as a principal of a high school, every study shows that the more beautiful your campus is, the higher your test scores are. If kids feel appreciated and you treat them with utmost respect, they give it back to you. So as a result, the more beauty we put into our community, whether it's through the arts, whether it's through landscaping, generally people will respond in a very positive way, and you actually see the effects of less graffiti, less vandalism, and just an overall pride in the community. So it's an outstanding thing for us.
And this project utilizes drought-tolerant plants that are native to the area. What do you think of the look or the way it came out?
You know, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the rock feature. I think that's amazing. But you have oak trees, you have oak tree shrub savanna, you have different types of grasses. It's going to stay green year-round, but it's also going to have different landscaping, which will change with the seasons and change and add a little bit of color. So overall, the project turned out well. We want to thank Supervisor Antonovich with Los Angeles County, and we want to thank the West Ranch Town Council has been a big part of this project.
The City of Santa Clarita also started a new program called CPR Anytime.
Each year, cardiovascular disease and sudden cardiac arrest claim the lives of 325 Americans before they reach a hospital. Almost 80% of cardiac arrests occur at home and are witnessed by a family member. The survival rate of cardiac arrest victims is only 6.4% without CPR. CPR can substantially increase a victim's chance of survival, which is why CPR Anytime was created. Dr. Franklin Pratt, Medical Director of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, talked about the program.
The CPR Anytime program is a hands-only CPR education and training program to take care of people who've suffered sudden cardiac arrest. This is the person in your community, at your workplace, who appears well and all of a sudden literally goes down, or in the old vernacular, they drop dead. By doing hands-only CPR, which is chest compressions only, we increase the survival from sudden cardiac arrest by 3 to 4 times. This is, of course, combined with automatic external defibrillators, EMT1s, and paramedics. So the medical program is defined by rapid, early chest compressions with 911 notification and then regular medical and paramedic services. Yeah, I think when we've studied this, there have been a couple things that people are hesitant about. Number one, they don't want to do it wrong. And number two, there was always a little bit of hesitation about doing mouth-to-mouth. So we've taken out the mouth-to-mouth piece. It's hands-only chest compression. And we now know that any CPR is better than no CPR. And with a little bit of training and watching this DVD, it's virtually guaranteed you're going to do it well and do it right.
In the last couple of months, the city annexed 3 new communities, making Santa Clarita the 3rd largest city in LA County. The city held a Welcome to the City event for all 3 communities.
Hi, I'm Heather Sumagaisai with This Week in Santa Clarita, and we're out right now at Fair Oaks Park celebrating the annexation of 3 new communities in the Canyon Country area. These areas included Fair Oaks Ranch, Jake's Way, and the future Vista Canyon. To date, this is the single largest annexation the city has undertaken, with nearly 4 square miles and almost 15,000 new residents. The free block party served to welcome newly annexed residents and answer their questions about city services, events, and programs. Mayor Frank Ferry helped new residents decorate Halloween cookies and encouraged them to participate in a community art project.
Well, today we are celebrating the entrance of Fair Oaks Ranch community into the city of Santa Clarita. We just had a recent annexation of Jake's Way as well as Fair Oaks. My brother, actually, Vince and Kathy Ferry, bought their first home in Fair Oaks, and I was a city councilman. I said, someday you're going to be a resident of Santa Clarita, and today's that day. So today we are celebrating by making a piece of artwork, and as mayor, I went with environmental green, just for you, Lorene, and for you, Marcia. And so I'm going to put my handprint now into the very first piece of artwork here at Fair Oaks Park. But you're going to join me. So I'm going to hold the mic. Hold on a second. I told her that as a interviewer and reporter, she wanted me to do it by myself. And I said, if I'm going to do this, you're going to do it with me. So she had to take off her wedding ring, and she's all Barbie doll, cutesy. She doesn't like to get dirty. And I said, nope. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, on the count of 3. We've got to find a space. That's a good space right there. Gotta push it in. All right. Welcome, Fair Oaks, to the city of Santa Clarita. Woo!
In addition to lots of local government services, it really is fun to be a resident of the city. For This Week in Santa Clarita, I'm Heather Sumagaisai, sliding out. Woo! Welcome!